Hello everybody, this is Chris Bird or Monkey Dude 1313, and this is episode 5 of Master Set Monday. Last week we did Scarlet and Violet 151, the set that I have heard the most people use to get back into the Pokemon trading card game after an extended absence, citing nostalgia and the fantastic cards in the set. The week before that, for Master Set Monday 3, we did Fossil, and Fossil is quite a great set, especially if you have nostalgia for the older cards. So I highly recommend you guys go check those out. This week, I promised a banger, and the set that I'm providing is Sword and Shield, Boss's Boltund. Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash. Definitely no PTSD from this set in card shows. Rebel Clash. This is set number 2 of the Sword and Shield era, featuring a lot of really cool cards and a lot of Pokemon that I really like, such as this Ludicolo right here. However, this set we have a little bit of PTSD with, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So this set was the second set to feature VMAX Pokemon, and it was the first set to give the VMAXs to the starters of the Sword and Shield games. So Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon all got VMAX versions in this set. Very exciting. This is a half art, and this card looks incredible. So I think it's really increased the binder appeal of sets like these, when even the lower end shiny cards look amazing. Alright, features a Ninetales. I quite like the full art, and we'll pull that one out when we get there. This Vulpix, though, adorable. Very cute Vulpix. Alright, moving on. Here's the Cinderace that I was just mentioning. Also, we don't speak of the horrible atrocities that this Arcanine has witnessed. Cinderace, VMAX. Very cool card. I really like the concept of this Pokemon, although it feels very samey. Every time they print a Cinderace card, he is interacting with the ball in some way. Kicking it, standing on it, holding it, something. Very cool. Very much I like the idea, but samey. Very cool card, though. Alright. Let me get that back into the binder here, and we should be on to the Inteleon VMAX here. Alright. Sharpshooter. I actually started liking Inteleon more after I've learned about the VMAX version. Very cool Pokemon, and the alternate art that I think it got in one of the new trainer galleries, I don't remember which one, maybe Crown Zenith? Not sure. Chilling Reign? I don't know. Got an amazing alternate art, and I absolutely love that card. So here's the original version of the Inteleon VMAX. Alright, moving right along, keeping Boltund. Stay away, Boltund. I have some other Boltunds creeping here on the side to talk about when we get there. Alright. This looks so sad. He looks so dead. Oh, Tuxtress. I'll pull up the later Tuxtress. That's fine. Okay. Dragapult. People have really grown to love Dragapult. If you play the TCG, you know that this isn't the Dragapult that everyone fears when they're playing. This is an older one, but still a Dragapult. Still very cool. Alright. Sandaconda, Phalanx, some cool Pokemon. This is the first time I've seen Whiscash Sad, by the way. And Malamar, coming back from Phantom Forces era. Alright, so quickly swipe through here and get to the fancy pages. And behold, the fancy cards from Rebel Clash. So I had mentioned the Ninetales earlier, and I actually really like this Ninetales art on the full art here. Ninetales used to get a ton of appreciation and love in the older days, but now Ninetales is kind of overshadowed by a lot of the other Fox and Fox adjacent Pokemon, so I was really happy to see Ninetales get a very cool card. Alright, I'm going to draw some special attention to this Inteleon, because this one does a fantastic job at showing how creative and interesting they can get with the textures on these cards. So that hex pattern in the back, kind of evokes kind of a sharpshooter vibe, but that's not even color. That is just the texture pattern on the card. And I think that's really cool. It adds a very neat effect, and it makes an otherwise normal full art very unique. Very cool. Alright, so the PTSD. We're starting with Boltund. And honestly, we almost ended with Boltund. And for the reason of Rebel Clash, this set, Boltund is now combined one of our most and least favorite Pokemon. We are all over the place with this guy. for 4 months. Actually, more like 3, but still, we'll say 4 months. For 4 months, we went to card shows looking for this exact full art Boltund. And you know what we found? We found every other Boltund under the sun a million times except this one. The Fusion Strike full art, the Fusion Strike VMAX, the Fusion Strike half art, the promos, the promo VMAX, and these guys. We found these Boltunds everywhere. All Boltunds except this one. And you know what? The glory of searching for that specific card, the card that's worth $1 or $2, and people don't really bring to card shows because it's not their favorite one. The glory of finding a card like this at a card show comes down to the fact that after blood, sweat, and metaphorical tears, well, metaphorical blood and sweat and actual tears, you finally find the card, and then at every show after that, you find the exact same card again. So we now own 3 of these guys because it became such a meme for us that we now have a lot of Boltund cards. And I brought up these other guys before. We had a similar problem with Boltund in Sword Shield Base. You have 2 copies of Boltund in here, number 75 and number 76. When we were opening cases of this set, somehow we only opened 75 and never 76. We had a lot of reverse 76, but we never had 76. So whether we just never got 76, or whether we did get 76 and then magically lost only that card, no idea. But we had a lot of 75 and no 76. We've tried to find them at card shows and we couldn't, so we ordered it on TCG Player and they sent us the reverse. And we ordered it again on TCG Player and they sent us 75, and we ordered it again on TCG Player. Is PTSD inducing. So honestly, Boltund is Boltund. Boltund Rant. Boltund. We didn't, well, I should say I didn't really care all that much for Boltund before this entire experience. And now I have very strong emotions toward this pesky boy. Pesky Boltund. Alright, anyway, moving along past my PTSD rant. This Dragapult card I think is very cool. A lot of Dragapult cards are very kind of like swooping at you, aggressive, flying around, shooting stuff. He's just kind of chilling in this one, standing around, having a good time. I like this art. I think it's very cool. And you can see the rest of these guys. I'm not going to pull them out right away. This boss's orders, though. This was truly the last card we needed to finish this set. Rebel Clash. And it wasn't because we couldn't find it. It's because this card is by far the most expensive card in the set. And part of that is because it's playable right now. A lot of decks use this guy. And so since it's cool trainer, or I guess cool anime character, plus cool art, plus playable, plus the shiniest version of that card. We don't include rainbows, don't worry about it. This card, very expensive. And so we thought, we'll hold off. We'll wait until it's less playable. This last weekend at the East Bay Card Show in Concord, we struck a deal with one of the vendors that included this card. We used that deal to get about $20 off the Full Art Ends Resolve from Cosmic Eclipse, and we almost snagged the Buddy Buddy Poffin with it, but that part didn't work out. So we saved a bunch of money on both this and the Ends Resolve, and so we ended up picking this up before it became unplayable. So we have a few sets now that we are not going to finish for a while because the cards that we still need are playable and way overvalued. So Buddy Buddy Poffin is an $18 item card right now, and it was up to $25 to $28 at one point because of how playable it was. But it's a gold item card, which means once it's out of rotation, it's going down to $3 or $4, as all of the gold item cards seem to do, with some exception, of course. All right, next page, the second nice reveal. We got a lot of the rainbows in here. We got the golds, and there's a few more on the back, which I can show you in a bit. I think that this Toxtricity is one of the best Pokemon, actually, to get in a rainbow card, because he's already purple and yellow contrasting colors, and he has like a very eclectic music vibe to him. And so having him in rainbow, being all crazy, makes a ton of sense for this character, for this Pokemon, and so I think the rainbow just fits. I think the rainbow fits very, very well. And for the same reason, this Galarian Berserker in gold makes a lot of sense to me. Because as I had mentioned in a previous video, I love Galarian Berserker. He's a feisty gremlin who is always running around in search of ill-gotten gains. So having this card in gaudy gold featuring Galarian Berserker, I think is fantastic. All right. So I didn't go over Sonia on the last page, and so I will quickly go back to that. Oh, actually, it's right here. No wonder I didn't go over Sonia. Sonia was, I think, the fourth to last card you need for this set, and as most people feel, the rainbow version of the card is less appealing than the full art version, even though it's technically rare. So we ended up getting this one maybe a month ago, and it was one of the last few cards we needed for the set. So, very cool card. I think the character is very neat in the games, but one of the last ones we needed. Alright, so the last page of the golds is just these two guys. Tool Scrapper and Twin Energy. Tool Scrapper's all over the place. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I have no idea if Twin Energy is any good or not, but I do really like the background effect on the Twin Energy. You get kind of this brick vibe, like vertical bricks, but then you also get the kind of matrixy, I don't really know how to describe that, but I really like the texture and the picture on this card. I think it's very cool. So, not a super sought after card, but I think it's very neat, and so I have a lot of appreciation for those kinds of design choices. Alright, so we'll do a leisurely flip through the reverses, just to show that they're all here. Very cool cards. Unspeakable Atrocities Arcanine. And I like this set. We've generated a lot of good memories with this set just in the attempts to finish it. Specifically with Boss's Orders and with Boltund, but that's how it goes. It's a great themed set for the more kind of scrappy Pokemon. I think it would have been great if they had put Scraggy and Scrafty in the set, but it makes sense to me that they couldn't fit all of them in there. So, cards like Skuntank, and, just very fitting for a kind of a rebellious, and definitely these guys. Definitely Grimmsnarl, Morgrim, and Impidimp. Very, very fitting for this set's theme. Alright, so I will, I need to flip the last page, make sure I show everything, and then I will take us back to the shinies. Which cards in this set are your favorite? Do you have any special memories with any of the cards in this set? Did you open any of these packs, and which cards did you get? And are there any that you would really like to have now that you don't yet? Perhaps you want to travel down PTSD lane with Boltund with us. So, thank you guys for watching, and Wishlist Wednesday is going to be another old set. We're missing exactly one card, and it's not one of the shiny ones. And so that is going to be really fun to go through, because this set has some really, really funky stuff that I think you're going to want to hear about. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.